Have mercy. I've been talking this whole time. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much, Pierre, for letting me know. You're amazing. Thank you. Um, so if you've been on my Instagram, you heard me this whole time. But I'm getting used to this new system that I'm using. So I have people on like three different channels here. So let me back it up a little bit. So if you did not hear a word I said, let me restate. So I did a challenge. I did a 30-day challenge, okay? And it's a 30-day fruit challenge. Hey dear. um and so I wanted to share this process that I went through with you all because I noticed that it was necessary. In the world of music and in performance, or pretty much anything in life, you need to take care of your vessel. You need to take care of yourself. And I realized that that was something that I was missing. I was missing the education that was needed to understand how to take care of my body. Um, Ever since I was little, I always performed, I always sing. And I mean, even through high school and in college, I've always performed. I've sung some very rigorous music, but not one person, not one ever made mention of me, you know, uh, being careful about the things that I put inside my body, taking care of my nutrition. Um, and I can't say I fault them for that because, they did the best that they can to make sure that I got where I am. And I appreciate them for that. But it's my time now to help lead everyone else further into something that has to do with not only music and performance, but also nutrition and being able to have the stamina that's necessary to perform, to sing, to do whatever it is that you're doing. And so, we live these lives where we're used to working and, we go to school, we get a good education, and we go to college. Some of us go to trade school, some of us don't, but we eventually end up working on someone's job or we become an entrepreneur, whatever the situation is, we're all still working. But some of us receive the education on proper nutrition, and a lot of us don't. And that's the thing. So let me back up a bit and tell you about what I dealt with. So I'll never forget the day I was in a rehearsal and I kept feeling this pain in my right upper abdomen, and I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what was wrong with me. I just knew I wasn't feeling good and I was not able to give um my highest effort that day. And so eventually I just went to the doctor to figure out what was going on with me. Well, come to find out, sister girl here had gallstones. Yeah. So that came from years of not eating properly, eating a lot of starches, not exercising properly, not taking care of myself, not taking time to unwind and de-stress or unstress, myself. And it really took a toll on my health. And several years later, I wound up having a gallbladder attack while in college. And that day was so devastating to me because I knew for certain that I was going to have to go underneath the knife. And I never would have thought, oh my gosh, I would have to lose an organ or I would have to have such a severe or serious surgery, because it is a serious surgery. You're taking an organ out of the body if it's bad enough. And that was the beginning of my reality that, hey, I needed to do something. I need to change how I am living. At that time, I still did not know why. I didn't really understand nutrition still, and I had so much going on in my life. I didn't really take the time to really search as much. All I did was I found surface information. Like the basics, like, eat less food, or try fasting, try this, try that. And hi there, hi Tommy. Um what I found out was that eating less food did not help me at all. If anything, it made me more hungry. And eventually it made me hangry. And then what would happen was the inevitable. I would then go back and binge and eat food that I shouldn't be eating and just say, oh, well, forget it, which is what most people do. So fast forward some years, I started noticing I was having issues with hypertension and pre-diabetes. I was just going through it, and I was only in my 20s, y'all. Like, I wasn't even 40, 50 years old having these issues. And back in the day when we were in elementary school, or if you were around back in the 90s, you knew that people who had those types of ailments were way up in age. Like, they might be 50, 60, 70 years old. And please, some of you all who are on my page, please do not feel offended, but you know what I'm talking about, okay? But I'm just talking about some real life stuff here because, being in the entertainment industry, or being a performer or musician, in whatever form of fashion that you're in, we have to realize that we have to take care of ourselves. And so, life can be short, but it doesn't have to be. You'll have people that'll say, oh, life is short. Well, if you're going to settle for your life being short, well, then it will. But it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. So we have to change our habits. And so over the past several years now, I've had some changes that I've been making with myself, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. I know there are a lot of you guys who have not seen me in years. And it's not that I didn't want to see you, but I had to work on myself, and I'm still working on myself. And that took time. That took for me to take myself out of certain environments, so that I could do what I need to do and still can do what I need to do. And so what I decided to do recently, was do a fruit cleanse. Like, I literally did something I never thought in a million years that I would do. Okay. There was a time where if someone had told me to go vegan, I would look at them like, yeah, you're crazy. I'm not putting down my chicken. That's not going to happen. Or, I loved it all. Like, I was a big foodie, big time. Okay. But that's just the thing. It's about perception, you guys. It's not that food is a bad thing. It's about the things that you put inside your body that make the difference. Okay. And so what I did was I did a 30-day fruitarian diet. I literally ate nothing but fruit for 30 days. Okay. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to lie. Week 1 was a test. It was a challenge. But what I did though was I thought about the pain that I endured with my blood pressure after I had my children and before. And I thought about, how long I want to be able to live my life, and what kind of an example I want to lead for my children, and help my children and even my family. I have family that want to make these kinds of changes, and they want to live a better life, right? And a lot of times, a lot of people really deep down, they literally would do any and everything they could to eat healthy. But because of the fact that we don't grow our own food like we used to, and we depend on, life to be in a certain kind of fashion that we just eat on the fly, it makes it more challenging, and it does. It's not easy. But what I did was I sat down and I did some research to figure out what worked for me and my family. And I found that, again, it was all perception. I had to fix my mindset when it came to what a meal was or what it looked like. So when you take into consideration when someone tells you eat smaller portions, right? If you can accept someone telling you, well, if you're going on a diet, you need to eat smaller portions, then the idea of eating 3 bananas, 2 apples, a pear or two, and half a cantaloupe shouldn't be that difficult to be able to understand that that could literally be a meal, right? And so I had to sit down with myself and figure out, okay, what's going to work for me? What's going to help me get through this? And what's going to keep me satiated, right? And for those of you who may not know what satiety is, because I I remember I figured out what that word was a couple of years back. I'm like, what's satiate? What's satiety? Can I even say the word, right? And it just means that you are what some people would call full. You're content, okay? Like you're not still hungry. You're not lagging of food or of energy. You are content with what you have eaten, okay? And that's what we're going for, okay? But we're also going for making sure that we get the proper nutrients that we need to feed the cells in our bodies, okay? And that's just it. That's why so many people, when you eat certain foods, you're like, darn, I'm still hungry. It's because the foods that you just ate did not feed the body. Like your cells, the mitochondria inside your cells are just like, oh, I see a lot of crap inside here. I guess we'll just put that in the toxin, fatty lipids over there because I can't do anything with that and I'm still hungry. Give me something I actually need, right? But when you lack that education, you don't know better, then you just do whatever you can. So week one, that was my week one. My week one was figuring out what I could eat and getting used to, that level of understanding with myself that, I could do this. I did watch a lot of videos. I watched a lot of motivational videos, y'all. I'm gonna tell you, everybody else was watching Netflix and everything else on TV. I was on YouTube watching people who are already doing this, who are experts at eating fruit all day and knowing what to eat, how to eat, when to eat it. Okay. Another thing was too, I had to change my bedtime. Like right now, I'm a little past my bedtime, but I only did this because I wanted to be here for you guys and share this with you before Monday got here. But yeah, so that was my week one. Week two, I will say I actually started to feel different week two. Um, it wasn't just a physical shift for me, it was a mental shift. I started feeling like, okay, I could do this because by the time, the next week came around, I'd already had enough practice of what I could eat, how I could eat. I started getting used to like having a cantaloupe and like half a cantaloupe and half of a miniature watermelon because the big watermelons are going out of season. And I would just literally just take that with me. I remember having a day where I had nothing but watermelon all day long and I stayed full. I felt great. Energy just spiked, right? And it hit me this one night. I went to bed. As a matter of fact, it was around this time. I went to bed around 8 o'clock at night. And I did that because I was like, okay, I don't want to eat. I don't want to eat to stay up late. And I want to make sure I said that right. Eat to stay up late. So if you guys have ever had that happen where you ever like it gets late at night and then you're like, I got this thing to do, but I need some energy. Let me go get something to eat. So that's the thing I had to stop doing. I was having a hard time with that. Like I would just keep eating at night. And I'm like, God dog it. And that's the worst time to eat anyways, right? Because your body is getting ready to go to sleep anyways. You're not going to have any energy or at least you don't need it you need the energy to burn off. So it's pointless to eat after a certain hour at night. So I just made myself go to bed around 8:30 that night. You guys, I woke up at about, I think it was like 11:30, almost 3 hours later. And I just had to go to the bathroom. And it didn't even feel like I had even went to sleep. Like, not in the sense that I was tired, but I was full of energy. I was full of freaking energy. And hey Tanya. And it was just like, wow, I had no idea that it was possible to wake up and feel so refreshed. Like You know what I mean? Now, did I go back to sleep? Yes. I obviously I have several more hours to go. I need to get some rest, and I have a long day ahead. So I did make myself go back to sleep. But I was just amazed at how refreshed I felt. Um, so I started noticing, of course, my weight going down. That's a plus. Okay. I did notice that I was going to the bathroom more frequently, which is also another plus because that means that my body was starting to clean itself. Okay. I wasn't holding on to any toxins in my body. And that's the thing. So many of us are walking around with toxins in our body. We don't realize it. And like those of you who know me very well, like, you know me, you know my shape. And it's taken me many a years to figure out, because I happen to come from family who also have, well, some people are plus size, some people are in shape, some people are in between. But for some reason, I carry that gene of, upper body, upper heaviness, and it would go straight to my arms or my midsection. And it was just so irritating. I didn't know what to do to get rid of it. I didn't know why my body stored fat like that. But here was the thing that I learned from a nutritionist and herbalist is that it's toxins. It's not just fat. It's toxins. Okay. So when you spend your time eating things that you shouldn't be eating, your body stores toxins inside of fat cells. And it then multiplies and it grows. And if you keep eating, it just keeps growing. Right. So I'm actually really happy to learn that, because that was something I did not understand about my body. I do have a lot of muscle, which I'm happy to hear as well, because that helps you burn off fat, especially when you eat right and exercise like you're supposed to. But yeah, those are things that I had noticed, and knowledge that started to pour into me during that time. I also noticed around week 3 that a heaviness left me. Um, that feeling that you normally have when you're like, you're addicted to something, like if it's food or like something you usually have a craving for, by week 3, that was gone. I felt much lighter. And not just in weight, but just spiritually. Like I just felt really good. Um, and I felt full of energy, more than I've ever felt. I mean, that right there was what convinced me at that point that I need to eat more fruit. I need more fruit in my life. Um, and so that was just the kicker. So by week 4, I mean, I just feel like I was just soaring at that point. I was just jumping out of bed at 5:30 in the morning. And it did a great deal for me too, because I work long days. Like I'm busy throughout the day. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a business owner. And so to have that type of energy is better than drinking coffee, to be honest with you. I'm not knocking coffee, but I'm just saying, like, if you could eat something that keeps you, healthy and feeling good, and it doesn't disturb your sleep, it doesn't give you insomnia, all these other bad effects that some of those foods can give you. I mean, I'm good without it. Now, listen, I'm not saying this to bash anyone. Let me make sure I make that very clear. If that's the kind of food that you eat, by all means, live your best life. But I'm talking about my experience. And I wanted to share this for those who, come from a similar background as I do in music, just so that you can, or even if you don't come from a musical background, heck, you just want to make a better change for your life or improve your life, just hear me out. I'm sharing this because I want for people to understand that it can be done. Like, you literally can survive off of eating fruit alone. There are many people who have been what they call fruitarians, um, for many a decades, many years, and they're fine. The thing is, though, let me make sure I make this very clear. Don't just eat one fruit and say, "Oh, all I had was fruit today. That's not enough. Okay. You know darn well if you had a box of Publix chicken, you are not going to eat just one piece of chicken and be like, oh, I had some chicken today. You're gonna have like half the box. Let's just be real. Let's just cut the crap, okay? So obviously, if you're gonna eat more than one piece of chicken, don't forget the Hawaiian rolls and maybe some what do you call it? Potato salad or whatever else you want to have along with it. Make sure you eat those vegetables. Bring that same energy. Bring that same energy when it comes to eating the fruit, okay? So we're talking about eating several berries, several blackberries, several strawberries, several cantaloupes, okay, several watermelons, pears, peaches, whatever you can find, okay? Eat it, eat it. Like right now in here, I don't even know if y'all can see this. I'm drinking some mame sapote, and I don't know if you've ever heard of it before, but it's a beautiful tropical fruit. It's grown in Mexico and several other areas in South America. It is delicious. And what I did was I made a smoothie with it. So I took the mame sapote and I blended it with some frozen bananas. And I put like a small piece of like a round small piece of pineapple in there. And I put some Majorno dates, 2 Majorno dates in there. And I made enough for me and my family. And it's yummy. My babies ate it up. It's delicious. And so this is my, I guess what you would call a dessert, okay? My evening snack before I go to bed, and give me enough energy to get through my life, okay? Without eating something I shouldn't be eating, okay? But this is another great meal that you can have, or a nice snack that you can have and still be in great condition, okay? um Another thing too, I wanted to make sure that I shared how it shifted my energy when it came to singing. So I love singing. I have always loved singing, but lately, this thing with this fruit, y'all, I'm gonna tell you, I used to not really care to get on a piano. Now, I love piano. I have always wanted to learn how to play piano very well. As a matter of fact, I have both like my grandmother and my great grandmother. I have grandparents pretty much who were accompanists. And a couple of them were singers. So I have musicians throughout my family as well. But I always felt like the one who was kind of like on the outside because I had a hard time understanding piano. Like, I know it's weird because I have a degree in music, right? I shouldn't be having, but anyways, for some reason, I just had a challenge understanding how to play piano. And I think what it had to do was just my mental clarity. My mental clarity was a bit off. And it was just like, I think it was like week 3. Yeah, I started like playing around with the piano more. Like it was just something I really wanted to do, and I just did it. And I could literally just sit there, without any kind of stagnant energy, and I could just literally flow, sight read, and move. Like it's amazing what you put in your body will literally do to you, and how it will affect you. And it's a shame it's not talked about much. Yeah, it's a shame it's not talked about much because it really should be. Um, let me also make mention too that what you put in your body it literally is a reflection of what you give out, like what you get back out of yourself. So what you put in your body, you're going to get back. So if you put crap in your body, you're going to get crap out of your body. So hey Tanya. So I just wanted to share that with you guys to help motivate you. If you're having a hard time with something in your life, even if you're not a musician, my target though right now, I'm gonna tell you right now, I am interested in helping singers improve their life and their well-being and their wholeness, their wellness in their bodies. Because food does something to you. It really does. It really does control how you operate. And unfortunately, even like in my community, and that's when I say my community, I'm talking about the Black community when I say this. We don't all always have the most healthiest of diets, sometimes, and some of it I feel like is very stereotyped, because well before Civil War, we actually used to eat very healthily. And as a matter of fact, even after the Civil War, we still ate healthily. It wasn't until things in the world started changing and we didn't have our farms to eat on anymore, and we didn't eat on the earth or from the earth anymore, that we changed the way we ate, to be able to survive in the society in which we live in now. But this is a time that we live in now where we actually have the choice to eat right and to do right and to make better choices. So I'm encouraging you all to eat healthy. And when I say you all, I'm talking about everybody, because it ain't just people of color, it's everybody, okay? Because everybody needs to be healthy. But also, I'm going to challenge you guys to do a 7-day fruit cleanse. Okay, start tomorrow. Okay, and I'll be back on here next week. Okay, just to see how you're doing, and I want you to literally just sit down with yourself and figure out, what you can eat, what you can't eat. I know some people got allergies. Be careful of what you're eating and putting into your body and consuming. But hold on one second. Oh, I have a request over here. Hold on one second. Hold on one moment. Tanya, I don't know if, as a matter of fact, what I'm streaming on right now, they're only going to be able to see you on Instagram. They won't see you on the other streams. So I have to, matter of fact, I would have to invite you through a different route. So I will, if you're okay with it, I'm going to plan to invite you in this time, okay? Because I have to figure out how to get the link to you. I would love to have you on my live. I'm using StreamYard, and it's streaming on you're streaming my phone, and everybody else is streaming on YouTube and on Facebook. So I will figure that out and plan for you to come on, okay? But anywho, where was I? Yes. So I wanted to just make sure that everybody got a chance to give yourself a chance and actually, give fruitarian a try. I know some people are kind of skittish when it comes to fruit because of diabetes. Okay, I'll put that up there. Okay, and I do that because the things that we have been taught, you have to really do some more research on your own. Okay, because I'm gonna put it this way: if I dealt with it and I ate fruit and I'm all right, and I'm no longer dealing with it, that should probably tell you something. So I think you need to do a little bit of research, do some reading. There's peer review articles out there that'll help you. Go do some research, and figure out how your organs actually work and what kind of sugars they actually use and what kind of sugars don't affect certain organs that create insulin. So yeah, anywho, moving past that, I'm going to challenge you guys to do that 7-day fruitarian diet. Okay. Or even if you want to do like what I'm doing currently, I eat 80% fruit now, and the rest is vegetables, grains, that way I still have my other sources of minerals that's coming into my body. Okay. But yeah, so if you want to do one of those, just try to back off the other stuff for a little while and See how it helps clear your mind and your body, okay? I promise you, you're going to feel good. You're going to look good. Your skin going to clear up. It's going to look really good. You're going to feel really good. You might not want to stop, okay? Um, Make sure that you comment on my YouTube channel, Voice Launch Masterclass. If you're watching from YouTube right now, please make sure you like and subscribe. That lets me know how much you are enjoying it. Please share it so that other people can also watch it. And I want to make sure that, people wake up and realize what's really going on so you can live your best life more effectively without having to deal with unnecessary health complications. Okay? Because it's extremely unnecessary, like just downright unnecessary. Yes. So, anywho, also, I will be putting out another challenge soon. This is going to be strictly for just singers. So if you're interested in, really working on your voice, your mind, your health, improving your nutrition, I want you to join me. This is going to be a week-long challenge. I'm going to get on there with you live. 5 days. I'm sorry. I said 7 days. I'm thinking about this week's challenge. This week's challenge is 7 days, y'all. This week, the one with the fruitarian and the eating of the more veggies and fruit, that's 7. But this other challenge that I'm going to have for you guys really soon, it's going to be a 5-day challenge. 4 out of the 5 days you will see me live. 1 day is going to be for you to work on your own, but with a recorded video. And we're going to be working on some things to help improve the singer. And I know that is going to be fun. I'm sure that I'm going to be sharing with you guys soon, so keep an eye out. If you have any questions about the program that I have, go ahead and drop me a comment. You got me on Instagram. Hey, y'all. You got me on Facebook. You got me on YouTube. Okay. Say something to me. All right. I'm here. If you would like a consultation on your voice and how to improve your voice and your health and your well-being, still the same thing. Reach out to me. I have a link inside my bio for you to set up a schedule, an appointment with me, and we can figure out what's going on with you and help you to improve and make those necessary changes to help you. Okay. Again, you'd be amazing. You'd be amazed at the things that you can do, just little subtle things, especially when it comes to what you're putting into your body, that will actually help improve your voice, improve your mood, improve your mental health, improve your well-being. So you are so welcome. Thank you so much, Marquita. You are so welcome. Thank you so much for joining. So listen, you guys, I am getting ready to wrap up because I have got to go to bed. I got to get up early in the morning, y'all. Just remember that, every note you sing, every meal that you have, and every thought that you have, it nurtures you. Your voice is an echo of your well-being. And so let's blend the art of singing with the science of health, but making sure that we're doing things ethically, and taking time to really understand your body and what is going on. I know we get distracted with the day-to-day, but you need to take time to understand what's going on with your body so that you can heal. Okay. Because, when those beautiful things come together the right way, it literally can create magic. Literally. And so I just wanted to make sure I took a moment just to share with you guys that it's important that you nourish your souls, nourish your body, nourish your mind, so that your vessel can be what it needs to be, because that is so important. All right. So peace, love, and harmony. I love you all. Thank you so much for joining me this evening, Pierre. Thank you so much for coming in. Marquita, Ken, Tanya, and everybody else. Thank you so much. I want to make sure I give everybody a shout out. There's a lot of names on here, so but thank you guys, and I will catch you next week. Until then, take care.